Okay, here we want to sketch a graph of the quadratic function f of x is equal to x squared minus 6x. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to be able to determine what is the vertex of this. Okay, so if we want to find the vertex, okay, we can then determine that a is equal to 1. We know that b is equal to negative 6. And we know that c is equal to 0. Okay, so let's find the value of h. Well, we know that h is going to equal negative b over 2a. So that means we have negative 6 over 2 times 1. So that's a positive 6 divided by 2, which is 3. And then when we want to find k, well, k is going to be f of 3. So that means we're going to plug in 3 into the function. So we have 3 squared minus 6 times 3, which gives us 9 minus 18, which is equal to negative 9. Okay, so now we know what the standard form looks like, but we just need to take a look at the value of our vertex. So we know that our vertex is located at 3 and then negative 9. Okay, so recall that since a is equal to 1, we know that this is greater than 0, so we know that this is going to open up. Okay, and so what else do we know? We know that the value of x being equal to 3 is the axis of symmetry. We also know that since it's opening up, that means we have a minimum at negative 9. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to then figure out what is the X and Y-intercepts. So let's find the X-Intercepts. So when we want to find the X-Intercepts, then we're going to let y equal 0 or f of x equal 0. So in our given function, which is x squared minus 6, that means we're going to take x squared minus 6x and set that equal to 0. Now we can factor out an x, and then what's left is x minus 6, which is equal to 0. So that means we have x, which is equal to 0, or x minus 6, which is equal to 0. And so therefore, if we solve for x, we get 6. So there are two x-intercepts. One of them is located at 0, 0, and the other one is located at 6, 0. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is find the y-intercept. Okay, whenever we find y-intercept, we're going to let x equal 0. So the y-intercept is going to be, we can say that y then is going to equal x squared minus 6x. So that's 0 squared minus 6 times 0, which gives us 0. So then we know that the y-intercept is 0, 0. Okay, now that we have our y-intercept, we have our vertex and we have our x-intercepts and our axis of symmetry, we can go ahead and then plot. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to plot our vertex, which is located at 3 and then negative 9. So I move over to the right 3 and then down negative 9. So there is our vertex, located at 3 and then negative 9. Okay, and then we also have the x-intercepts, which is at 0, 0. So we know we have an x-intercept at 0, 0. And then we also know that we have an x-intercept at 6, 0. And we also have a y-intercept at 0, 0. And then we also know that we have the axis of symmetry, which is located at x equals 3. So let's go ahead and put the axis of symmetry in. So at the line of x equals 3, then we have a axis of symmetry there. So we know that that represents the line of symmetry at x is equal to 3. And so now we can go ahead and then we can draw our parabola. So here we have our parabola going in that direction. And then we have our parabola going in this direction here. And so therefore there's our parabola. And then let's go ahead and check to make sure that we're correct. Okay, so we're going to put in our function in our graph. Okay, so we have x squared minus 6x. And then we know that the line of symmetry is that x is equal to 3. Let's just verify our points. Well, there's the vertex, which is 3, negative 9. We have our x-intercept at 0, 0. And then our other x-intercept at 6, 0. And there is our line of symmetry.